Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the September 5th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury. And it's time to talk about 2 weeks of Impact. Impact, we followed up with the end of Resurgence.
Yes.
Main event featuring the 30-minute Iron Woman match, I guess, between Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. Great match. Deonna Purrazzo successfully retained the Impact Women's Championship. What a great showing, and another opportunity for Impact to be progressive by featuring a women's main event.
A 30-minute Iron Woman match, I guess is what the correct way to say it.
Yeah.
Jordynne Grace had a fantastic showing. I'm glad that they didn't switch the title back. It's way too soon for that.
So am I. And Deonna Purrazzo, again, the virtuosa, doing a great job.
I also like that they've given her the rematch, and now they're moving on to Tenille?
Yeah, Tenille Dashwood.
Or Emma, for most people that remember her as Emma.
Yeah.
Women's division over on Impact is actually getting stacked.
You know what's crazy is Impact has successfully maintained a solid women's division. They've got Kylie Ray still. They've still got Taya Valkyrie, Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steele, Rosemary,
Kimberly.
I mean, you name it. They've got a stacked women's division. And it's really, Deonna Purrazzo is a really, really fresh name, fresh perspective, fresh face to really bring things together.
Yeah, because you didn't get to see much of her on NXT.
No, you didn't. People don't really know how good she is.
So you can kind of build her the way that you think you should.
Yeah, totally agree.
For a fresh slate kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that bringing in Emma, or Tenille, I'm going to call her Emma, just because that's what I remember her as, is smart.
Agreed.
It's smart.
100% agree.
Money, it's money.
Yeah.
Being that she's another pro that can help move along the rookie's title reign.
Yeah.
And make it more valuable in the end when she actually does get beat.
Yeah, agreed. We also saw on the second week of Resurgence, the first week of Impact Recovering, Eddie Edwards defended the Impact World title against Rob Van Dam. Eddie Edwards successfully retains, leading into Eric Young being the #1 contender on this previous weeks of Impact. And boy, howdy, Eric Young defeated Eddie Edwards in the middle of the ring. Eric Young is now once again Impact World's Heavyweight Champion, baby.
Eric Young winning the title kind of proves that WWE didn't know how to handle Eric Young.
Agreed.
That he should have been pushed to
the moon
in the NXT as champion.
Yeah.
It should have been pushed
and it's
on
such a shame
SmackDown, at least as a second tier.
They brought him in so great with Sanity. What a great gimmick, what a great group. Madman Fulton is your muscle, Nikki Cross. Was it Killian Dane was the fourth member?
Killian Dane was the fourth.
Yeah. Eric Young, though, back home and
already... Alexander Wolf. Yeah. Was in it, yeah.
And then now Eric Young back home and back on top where he belongs.
The gimmick pretty much sells itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back on Impact Plus or back into the archives of Impact and be able to see that Eric Young isn't just getting the push because he come from the E.
Yeah.
Because he was homegrown talent.
Agreed. Brian Myers and Willie Mack had a great match. I can't remember if it was this previous week's or if it was last week's.
Last week's.
But it was very good. Brian Myers coming in strong as a great heel. Heath Slater helped Rhino defeat Reno Scum in a handicap match this previous week.
Dressed as a cameraman. We haven't seen that done 80,000 times.
I love it, and I love the idea of putting Heath Slater and Rhino back together. What a great addition to their tag division if they go all the way with it.
He still has kids.
He does have kids. Hashtag Heath Slater's got kids.
They've gotten a little older, but they're still kids.
They're still kids. Speaking of their tag team division, the Motor City Machine Guns still Impact World Tag Team Champions after having defeated the North in the first week of Resurgence. Setting up for now a championship feud between the Machine Guns and the Rascals.
Yeah. I think that both teams will suit each other really well.
Yeah, complementary
the Rascals
styles.
can fly, but they also have a really good ground game.
Same with the Machine Guns.
Yeah. Then you got Gallows and Anderson talking about the story with AJ.
Uncle Alan.
About Gallows falling asleep on the apron.
Up.
Which I actually remember when they first told that story. And it didn't change any, which is great.
Yeah, it's not Gallows, baby.
He's like, the lights went out, and all of a sudden I heard...
Big LG.
That's fantastic. Fantastic storytelling.
Yeah,
I wish they would put them more into the title picture than backstage skits. I think that's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're there, they're making the money, and
they're happy.
That's all they can ask for.
That's right. Impact is shaping up very nicely.
Carl Anderson's being able to buy his hot Asian wife all she wants.
That's right. They're not hurting for any money. We did see the end of Wrestle House. However, members of the Wrestle House have come together as a group and have turned heel.
And they teleported, which they learned from Matt Hardy.
Which is awesome. Kylie Ray super kicking Kimberly and then acting surprised about it was hilarious and fantastic. I don't care. I do think it's kind of funny that in the same week Bayley goes full heel, like full heel on her partner. Kylie Ray also.
Bayley 2.0 goes heel as well.
Bayley Light is also heel, which she's not Bayley Light. She's very talented.
Chris Jericho seems to think so.
Oh, that's not even a true story.
Every week. Every week. Every week I will add that in there.
Oh, man. We did see Rahit Raju win the X Division Championship.
Faju is still the X Division champion.
Raju had a great little promo. Again, he's incredibly talented. I think they're going to utilize him well in this regard. I think he's going to make a great buffer for a lot of X Division talent. Definitely excited to see what goes on.
He reminds me of a younger Daivari.
Yeah, but I do believe in ring-wise, he's more talented than Daivari.
See, I don't know, because Daivari was pretty talented.
He was, and then that's not taking away anything
maybe more of a Sonya Dutt kind of talent.
I think he's got more charisma, and I think that they're not leaning on his Indian and Middle Eastern heritage as much as they did.
Kind of hard to do nowadays.
Right, but I like that. I like that we're able to make that transition and we're able to showcase his talent for what it is.
So you know what I'm really going to miss about Wrestle House?
What's that? Don't say
no more pictures of Abyss.
Yeah, like standing in the fire room.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
We saw it. I thought it was fun. The little fight between AC Romero, Heavy D, and the Deaners. This previous week was fun. It wasn't great, but it was fun.
The elevator skit got me. It was funny.
Or whenever Jake Deaner's making the run from across the hall, and AC shows up with Heavy D, and he's like, you got plenty of time. You can just move. And Heavy D's like, I would, but I'm just too blown up.
I think that Maximus said it best when he did pull him out of the way.
Yeah.
And he did the dive up onto the
platform.
There.
Yeah.
He should have grabbed the
carpet and rolled himself up like a burrito. Would have been hilarious.
Would have been the Wile E. Coyote moment.
Yeah. However, we got to say, Impact is getting better. Now
it's getting more watchable
without the buffer that is Wrestle House, because I know that's one thing that takes a lot of people out of the product. Without that being there, and we see everybody kind of ground themselves and do some real serious in-ring work, I wouldn't be surprised if Impact becomes part of the conversation very, very soon.
I questioned Wrestle House in the beginning, and then in the end here, it looks like that they were building the whole time for some kind of a faction.
Yeah.
And now that is understood that that's what they were doing, it's genius. It's a genius way to build the relationships between these people that you normally wouldn't team up. Now that they've had that experience, you kind of get the backstory.
Well, and it's also kind of cool, too, because in that particular group, while there is a lot of substantial talent, not all of them are necessarily top stars.
No.
Guys like Johnny Swinger, guys like Johnny Bravo, female talent. I mean, Taya Valkyrie's a top female star anywhere she goes. So I'm not going to take that from her, and so is Kylie Ray. But giving these extra personalities, that extra backing with the Deaners and with, I keep wanting to say Heavy Machinery, but with Triple XL, I've always said
Johnny Swinger, say it.
Johnny Swinger, yeah.
Say it.
But I've always said this about like the Bullet Club, or not the Bullet Club, Aces and Eights.
Yeah.
That it should have been a group of mid-carders that got tired of not being top stars.
Speaking of Aces and Eights, that kind of went nowhere. Like they were talking about a big return,
phone call and stuff, and it never.
And they never did anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder if it's because maybe Ken Anderson backed out.
It could have been. I know that he had obligations with the NWA still.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I really think that this particular group, if they keep them all together and they make them a really solid group of heels, could be really beneficial for Impact. Yeah, for entertaining, especially with Johnny Swinger.
Thank you.
Johnny Swinger is starting to entertain me, and I never thought I would ever say that because I fucking hate Johnny Swinger. But I'm telling you, he's even getting me. Impact's on the up and up. These last 2 weeks are any indicator. I'm excited to see where we're going to keep going.
I'm excited to see where the title pushes are going to go, where they're going to go with Eric Young.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I think that NXT totally missed the mark with Eric Young.
I completely agree. Guys, that is going to cover us up for the 2 weeks of Impact and our 2 weeks worth of wrestling recap. Stay tuned right now because we have the pay-per-view post-show reviews coming up from NXT TakeOver 30, Payback, and SummerSlam.
Yep.
Make sure you find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Email us at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below what you guys thought about Impact, and stay tuned because it's time to start reviewing some pay-per-views, baby!
One of us.
Stop it.